about you every day, just to the first bright hint of winter. Don't glimpse your face on every guy, just every other handsome stranger. I don't really miss you much at all. If I think of you, it's only the tones on tone that you didn't do. Tears don't roll down your flannel shirt when they surprise me in the closet, and even the ghost of your scent, clinging to them doesn't move me one little bit. I don't really miss you much at all. If I think of you, it's only the tones on tone. It's just an ordinary flower. Et soixante minutes ensemble are just an ordinary hour. Don't reach for your hand absently when music's floating in the twilight. Don't dance with you in every dream. My dreams haven't held you for so many, many nights. I don't really miss you much at all. If I think of you, it's only the tones on tones on tones on tones. But still, thank you so much.
Thank you, Castlefield Trio. That was fabulous. What a great introduction to your music. De temps en temps was the song, a French title.
A French title.
Can you tell us what that means?
It means from time to time, like occasionally.
Let's introduce everybody. We have Andy Chatfield, Joe Casillo, and Sarah Lemieux, the Castlefield Trio.
That's right.
How did we come up with the name for the group?
Well, that's how you just illustrated it. So it's Castlefield.
Okay, Casillo, Lemieux, and Chatfield. And it's a relatively new endeavor for the three of you.
We just played our first show last month, actually just about 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So.
Wonderful.
But we have all played together in other situations.
Yeah, so we met about 2 years ago. We were part of a larger group playing Led Zeppelin, and Sarah came in at the last minute as a
I did.
backup vocalist, no rehearsal the night before. She came in and knocked it out of the park and blew me away. And then we did another Led Zeppelin project the next year, and Sarah also worked with a couple of my other projects, an 80s band and covering some Beatles. And then last summer I did a trio gig with Joe, and then after that he said, you know, he wanted to try and start some kind of regular project with me, so the first person I thought of to ask to join us was Sarah.
Well, it's a great sort of amalgam of the three of you. And Led Zeppelin to De Temps en Temps, sort of different styles. And you have an 80s band as well.
Yeah.
A lot of musical influences.
I like a wide range of music, and I think everybody in the group does. I mean, we do actually cover, you're hearing originals tonight, obviously, but we cover Led Zeppelin and The Police and Fleetwood Mac in this project, too. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the Castlefield Trio, you also do cover songs?
Yeah.
We do. We approach them in a really sort of a fun, kind of an experimental way. I mean, we're not, the projects that I had done with Andy, we were sort of replicating the albums as precisely as we could, but in this, you know, we're experimenting and entertaining ourselves and combining different songs and quoting songs within other songs and making it fun.
So much fun. So much.
As a fan of music, I'm always interested in how bands would choose a cover song. I find it very interesting when I've seen live music in the past. I hear 5 great original songs from a band, and then I hear a really interesting cover. How do you, as musicians, choose what you want to do for your cover?
We have a giant list.
The way I approached it was to put together a list of songs that aren't covered by other projects that I do. So, you know, I got rid of most of the 80s songs, so a lot of the songs I wanted to play were from the 70s. So I sent both of these to a long list and asked them to put their names next to the songs that they'd be interested in playing. That kind of narrowed the list down to, you know, an evening's worth of music. And so that's how we kind of focused in on the tunes that we approach.
Do you put your own Castlefield Trio spin on the covers?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
How so?
Well,
Sarah basically says, gee.
or let's suddenly play this song in the middle of this other song.
She starts singing different songs.
Yeah, no, we do that. We are paying very close attention to each other when we're playing, partially because it's a new project, but also partially, I think, because that's the kind of musicians that we are. And so in that moment, you can feel if, what happened? What did we do? We did Take a Walk on the Wild Side in the middle of something, and then that turned into something else, like Angel from Montgomery. You can hear if a chord progression wants to turn into something else, and then you go, hey guys, come on.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Speaking of fun, I saw a picture of the Castlefield Trio online, looking into it, and I saw Joe Casillo pictured. It was the three of you. And I've known Joe. I haven't met you two until tonight, but I've known Joe for a long time, and I see Joe as a very serious musician, someone who is a supporter of youth in music and is very structured in teaching music and in his approach to music. And I see this picture of the Castlefield Trio, and he's having fun. Are you having fun with the Castlefield Trio?
Are you having fun, Joe?
I am having so much fun. No, really, really seriously though, it feels really good. It feels like it clicks with the three of us. So I'm really excited to do more.
And I had said at our first gig, you know, I hadn't looked forward to starting a new project like this for several years, so I was really excited that we started playing just in the past month.
The songs that we're hearing tonight, we heard De Temps en Temps, and I know in a little while we're going to hear some more of your music. It's original music that we're hearing tonight. Who writes the songs? How do they come about?
So, to play original songs, we've been using material that I have brought to the project from other projects that I have written for. And it's really fun to get to approach it in a smaller way and in a more flexible way. The songs so De Temps en Temps and then the other songs that you'll hear are from a chamber jazz project that I wrote for, and I have scores written out for them with clarinets and violas and double bass and all kinds of things. But for this project, it's nice to have a little maneuverable trio approach that material.
And do you write music first and then words? What's your process?
Usually I start with either a feeling or an idea, and then everything else structurally supports getting that across. So I'll have De Temps en Temps as the idea of the song. And so it's like a nostalgic idea of love that used to be, and you kind of wish that it was still there, but you also kind of don't. It's like an ambiguous kind of a feeling. So the melody is a little ambiguous, it's a little happy, it's a little sad. The chords are a little happy, a little sad. The tempo is kind of an in-between. The structure of everything is trying to communicate whatever the first idea is that I've come up with.
And French title.
French title.
And a French last name.
Oui.
Oui. Now, did you grow up with that kind of music?
I did, actually. My mother taught classical guitar, and she was really, really into French folk music. And so, and she also used to curate a series of concerts in Bridgeport. And so we would have French folk people from France come and stay in our house. Pierre Bensusson and Gabriel Yacoub and some of the other guys from Malicorne. Nobody's going to know who any of these people are, but French music was very much a part of my childhood. All world musics.
Other influences on you guys?
Led Zeppelin was the reason I started playing drums, and then I studied jazz and classical music, and obviously I have an 80s band, the music from my youth. Yeah, just a wide range of things that I like.
Everything that's good and none of the bad stuff.
There you go.
That's your influences.
Yeah,
all
I was
good music,
influenced by all
nothing
the good
bad.
stuff, yeah.
Yes.
As I started to play music myself, then kind of like Andy, I started to explore more complex music, like progressive rock, like Yes and Genesis and Rush, and some jazz fusion in there. And then I said, hey, I want to do this. And then it was the whole world just blew up.
We should cover some Genesis.
Yeah.
I would love to.
And we will.
And
Yeah.
we will.
So that's why I say everything.
Yeah.
Do your influences change? Well, I guess they do, but how do they change? You're young and you hear for the first time Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and French folk music, and that sort of sets you in the direction. How do the influences change over time?
Well, for me, I teach, and I also have a middle schooler, so I'm constantly getting inundated with contemporary dance pop and really things that I would never find on my own, but it's actually really great songwriting, some of it.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, Lady Gaga is really good, and so newer things come to me in that way.
Now, all of you have other projects. You're all three very busy musicians. You have three bands, three groups that you play with?
There's 3 regular groups, and then there's special one-off projects like we were talking about before, covering an album one time by Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd or the Beatles or Saturday Night Fever.
I heard that you just covered the entire Saturday Night Fever album with you singing.
Yeah.
And you were involved as well.
That one.
Joe wasn't there.
You
Joe
weren't
set
there?
that one out.
Was it fun?
It was fantastic. It was for my 40th birthday. I had a 20-person band that Sarah was the lead singer
So
for.
you were the lead singer of the Saturday Night Fever album,
I
like
was.
the Gibb,
I
the
was
brothers
the Barry Gibb, yeah.
Okay.
That was me.
How do your different projects inform sort of this, and how does it relate to the Castlefield Trio?
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure that I know yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're just starting out. Obviously, the music that brought us together was covering Led Zeppelin, so there is that kind of blues rock thing that we have in common, but obviously the jazz that Sarah's written, I have an original jazz quartet project. So we're still kind of figuring out the ingredients.
One of the things that struck me when I sort of looked into the band, when I saw the picture of Joe having fun, and I see that there's a lot going on, not only with the Castlefield Trio, but with your other projects that some of us may not know about. How do we keep in touch with you and figure out where to see you and how to see your music?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of these things.
Yeah, our website is castlefieldtrio.com, and then that links to our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, #Castlefield Trio.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear what else you have to play for us tonight. We're all very excited to hear some more Castlefield Trio original music. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I were a song, I would float over layers of sweat and gin, of smoke glowing in curls of light, like night blooming jasmine. If I were a song, my words would lift you up, my pulse would move your blood, I would make all of you fall in love. I wish I were a song. If I were a song, you would dance, your body so loose and free, your worries lost, you're flown for once, fleetingly happy. If I were a song, my words would lift you up, wish I were a song. If I were a song, you would hear me, and my words would flow back from your lips, my heart beating in your ears, feet dancing my steps. If I were a song, I would make all of you fall in love. I wish I were a song. If I could be a song. Street lamps blazing on the avenues, the city dressed in black silk and stars. We're shining dangerous and brand new, dancing in and out of long black cars. Just a little dizzy 'cause we've had a few, just enough to open up our hearts. This night is poetry. Stole through scattered moments on the floor. We'd watch the dawn plain and shivering, creep through glass and ashes out the door, holding our regrets upon remembering, holding out hope for something more. This night is poetry. Just a little longer. Pull me closer now and hold me dear. We can break the moon to dawn and win. We can keep whatever dreams we catch here, as long as we can just keep dancing. Never let me go, and we will live right here, in between the midnight and the one. This night is poetry. It's saying through my bones. Can we make it last just a little longer?